I just wanted to do a video to kind of just explain a little bit about blockchain or my understanding of blockchain. And I might be completely and utterly wrong in my thinking, but this was the simplest way I could do an illustration to kind of understand it in my own mind. Because it's not as straightforward as you might think to be able to get your hands on, especially altcoins, or as I understand it, alternative coins. So on the Binance exchange, there's just loads. There's so many different coins that you can trade on the Binance exchange. But then Coinbase is where you're going to change your fiat currency, so your home currency, into a cryptocurrency. So that might be Bitcoin, it might be Ethereum, it might be Litecoin. You then use those coins to then transfer that crypto into the Binance exchange. You cannot currently transfer anything other than cryptocurrency into the Binance exchange. So, if you're still with me, please hang on. So it's not as straightforward as just going to the bank and putting £160 into your bank. I'm assuming there are going to be simpler methods out there for making this work. And I think Coinbase, I think there's going to be a lot more exchanges like Coinbase where they'll kind of be almost like the front runner. But I think the traditional blockchain enthusiasts kind of want to keep the crypto decentralized, and therefore they only want you to be able to trade with cryptocurrencies. But then how do you then buy those cryptocurrencies if you're not a techie or a geek? So I would class myself as a geek, but I still struggle to kind of comprehend how they used to do it before these things. And they were very brave, let's say, because you're kind of transferring your money into, I don't even know, and then all of a sudden you've got these bitcoins. And if you'd have bought bitcoins back in 2009, let's say, if you'd have bought 100 bitcoins, you'd be quids in right now. You'd be a millionaire. So it just shows you the kind of the investment that's being pumped into blockchain solutions and cryptocurrency at the moment. And cryptocurrency, effectively all people are doing is finding different uses for that currency. And the reason why the fluctuation of that currency is so kind of severe is that you've got people pumping the coin. So they're going to the exchange, buying lots of the coin, which is creating demand for the coin, which is then driving the price up. Then what they do is they get the price of the coin to a certain point, and because they're trading with so much volume of physical pounds, shillings and pence, they can then just drop that coin, sell, and because they're selling at the top end, they're going to be selling it in such a way that they're going to be making small percentages, maybe 1% a day. But if you're making 1% a day and trading 5,000 Bitcoin, it's not too bad. But that's why the exchange rates are going up and down, up and down, up and down. And that's kind of where I see the kind of biggest problem with or for crypto at the moment is for mass adoption. They've got to kind of bridge this gap. They've got to have almost like a bank account that sits at the front end that people can use from day to day for their currency, for transactional things. And if it was cryptocurrency that they were then using to buy those things, they still have to be translated into one currency. The reason why I say that is because, being an accountant, governments, they're never going to, it's just going to create a nightmare for accountants in particular, because if you've got all these different cryptocurrency transactions going off, what's the value of those cryptocurrency transactions? So if you had hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of cryptocurrency transactions buying goods and selling goods, have they made a profit or have they not? Because if they buy one Bitcoin, sell that one Bitcoin, not sell that Bitcoin, but then buy, I don't know, a car for that one Bitcoin, then they then sell that car for, I don't know what they currently show, about 200 Ether or something like that. No, probably not 200 Ether. Can't do the maths in my head at the moment. So yeah, they might buy Ether, then they then change that Ethereum to buy another car, let's say, and then they sell that car and for Litecoin, let's say. So you're just increasing this transaction risk from an accountancy point of view. So when you're reporting your taxes to the authorities, it just causes a lot of complications. So there's always going to have to be some currency that is the anchor, and that will typically be the fiat currency. I can't see any way at the moment of the fiat currency not being used by government departments for small businesses, and considering that small businesses kind of control everything really, ultimately, if small businesses lead the change will happen, is how I see it. So I've done this little illustration on Trello. It's a tool that I love to use. Trello is fantastic for organizing your mind. I'm a very visual person, so I like to kind of see how things pan out. This is my own take. Please share, if this illustration makes sense to you, if what I've said makes sense to you. If it doesn't, if you disagree, then please come back to me. I like to have discussions about this. I'm just learning more and more about blockchain as a solution. And Trello is actually quite a good way of explaining blockchain, because effectively these could be the blocks of information, and within those blocks of information could be details very similar to this Trello card. And these details could be verified by an application off the blockchain to verify that information. So it could be to verify it with the bank. It could be to verify your identity. It could be to verify a contract. It could be any bits of information that are stored as blocks of data on the blockchain, so to speak. So that's kind of my 2 cent worth or 2 penny worth as trying to understand blockchain in a simplistic format. So in this illustration, I'm sorry I've talked a little bit and you're probably bored by now, but anyway, I'll go on. So this is my illustration. So we've got fiat currency here. So that's our sterling, that's our dollars, that's our yen. That's the currencies that we're used to using, our euros. Then we've got Coinbase, where we're going to transfer our fiat currency into cryptocurrency. So the crypto people or the crypto community would say that if you kind of leave your money in here, it's not really decentralized as such, until you then transfer that currency into the Binance exchange, because that is a fully, well, they say it is. And again, I don't know from a technical aspect as to whether that is still decentralized. Again, I welcome any feedback from anyone as to what they think about the Binance exchange. And then I've got IDO here, and this is just showing a transaction that I'm looking at doing. So I'm looking at buying some Willow coins because I've been following the Pigsby project, and I think what they're onto there is fantastic. So creating an ecosystem within a game for a currency is just, that is just very, very clever. Because the way I look at it is, rather than having to exchange, for them, it's so easy because all you have to do is exchange the fiat currency into the Willow coins. So It's fiat currency to Ethereum, and then Ethereum to Willow coins. So on their kind of game, they can distribute the Willow coins to players for incentives. You can have the Willow coins on there as like your pocket money. You can use it to play the game and learn the game. And, I just see it as this huge, almost like points, and then being able to then transfer those points to usable information, within the game. So you can buy upgrades and things like that. So instead of you buying it with your fiat currency, you'll be buying it with your Willow currency. And, having seen how big the kind of online gaming scene has just kind of blown up with, Candy Crush and Call of Duty and things like that, I think that it's got huge potential. Anyway, I'm not giving investment advice, so please don't come back to me and start moaning if you've gone and bought some Willow coins and they've crashed and you've lost loads of money. Because I'm not giving investment advice. This is just my opinion as to what I've seen and things that I like, really. The other things I will be investing in is the Clarity project. It's something very close to my heart. Again, that's not investment advice, so please don't take it. It's just a bit of a plug because I think what they're doing is fantastic for the small business world. To start introducing blockchain and cryptocurrency is a fantastic idea. And what they're going to be using the actual application of Clarity for is just amazing. Again, it's about creating an ecosystem which will just thrive, hopefully, within the small business world. So to kind of explain what we've got here, green means in and red means out. So very, very simple. And I'm not going to try and overcomplicate it with debits and credits from an accountancy point of view. But the way I see it is if you pay £160 into your bank, that's now sitting in your bank. So that's come into your bank account. So I could change that to fiat currency bank. You then register for a Coinbase account. You then register for a Binance account. You then register for an IDO account. And I know it sounds complicated, and it pretty much is, and that's because we're still in the early stages of cryptocurrency. What you then need to do is you then need to go on Coinbase and you need to effectively say to Coinbase, right, I'm going to transfer in £100 or £160 in this instance of pounds sterling, and it's going to be a wire transfer. It will then give you a reference number. Make sure you do not get that reference number or code wrong, because if you do, it will be going into somebody else's account and you will use that money. So just be warned. That's why I've only done it at a small amount. So this is going to be my first transaction with cryptocurrency. So what I'm going to do is I'm then going to transfer out £160 from my fiat currency bank. So that bank account now is empty, effectively. So I've transferred £160 in, or paid £160 worth of cash in. I've then transferred £160 cash out. So I've got nothing left in that bank. But now in my Coinbase account, I've got £160 in pounds sterling sitting in my Coinbase account. Now what I can do, and this is when it starts to get exciting, because you can actually start to buy crypto. Yay! You now go to buy Ethereum, Bitcoin, I think Litecoin as well. So there's not many that you can actually buy on the Coinbase account or with the Coinbase account. So you then go and buy £160 worth of Ethereum. And at today's exchange rate, I think it's £157 will buy you one Ethereum. So now you have one Ethereum in your Coinbase account. And then what you want to do, so I've been told, is you then want to transfer out your Ethereum coin. And what you do is you get I think it's called a key or public key. So it's effectively a transfer, and that bit of code will transfer the where the coin is showing on the application from Coinbase to Binance. the private key that you've got, make sure you don't ever lose that, and don't ever share that with anyone, and make sure you keep it on a locked USB drive. There's some that you can buy on the internet that are very, very good. Quite happy to share them with anyone that wants to see. And yeah, so that's how you keep them safe. But effectively, if you bought 100 Bitcoin, you wouldn't want them sitting on your hard drive, because if somebody finds out, and there are loads of mining tools and websites that people are using now to try and steal your Bitcoin, because basically it's worth a lot of money. So if it's worth a lot of money, they're going to do what they want to try and get it. So if it's worth 6 million quid, you're going to treat it like 6 million quid's worth of stuff, and you're going to protect it. So make sure you do that. So now the money's gone out of your Coinbase. Now your Coinbase account is out. So you've got nothing left in your Coinbase account. There's nothing left in your bank account. It might be like most people, actually. But please don't do that. Please don't empty your bank account to go and buy crypto. You're now on the Binance exchange. And I know there are others than Coinbase and Binance. These are just the ones that I was told to use. So these are the ones that I have used. I now have got my Ethereum, and now what I'm going to do is I'm now going to use my Ethereum to buy alternative coins. So I'm going to buy, I don't know, maybe a spread bet, I might buy 20 different coins. So for this illustration, I've just kept it nice and simple to say right now I'm holding altcoins, hopefully worth more than one Ethereum. So if the price goes up and down, I want to then to be able to change that back to Ethereum. Let's say if I change that back to 2 Ethereum, I could then kind of reverse engineer it, transfer it back to the Coinbase, transfer it back to Sterling, and transfer it back to my bank account as I understand it. There may be other ways of doing this. Again, please do share. I'm very new to this. This is just my take. Then the other option is once you're holding your Ethereum, you instead of transferring it to your Binance exchange, you can transfer it to your wallet. Now, some of the wallet solutions out there are very, very good. But again, do not lose your passwords, because if you lose your passwords or somebody gains access to your passwords, you will lose your money. So if you've got £6 million worth of Bitcoin or Ethereum or something else, keep it protected. Don't be silly. Don't be stupid. This is a digital world that we're living in. And if it's worth £6 million, you can be damn sure that there's going to be someone trying to hack your computer to access it. So don't leave it on anything that is networked, because if it's networked, they can access it. So now we've transferred it to IDO or EDO. This is a wallet solution, and this is the wallet solution that Willow have decided to use as a platform for buying their coins. Don't ask me why. I don't understand that from the kind of tokenomics or economics from within the kind of crypto world. So you've now got in of one Ethereum. Then you're going to go out and buy Willow coins for one Ethereum. So you now own, let's say, 10 Willow crypto. It might be more than that. I don't know what the exchange rate is or how many Willow coins you can buy. You're now sitting in your IDO wallet with 10 Willow coins. And the value of those Willow coins, again, to kind of reverse engineer it, might be, let's say, is worth 10 Ethereum. So now your 10 Willow coins are worth 10 Ethereum. You then want to transfer that back to Coinbase. You then withdraw to Coinbase. You then effectively sell those Willow coins to somebody on the exchange. They effectively buy your coins for £1,600. You then have now got £1,600 sitting in your Coinbase account. You then transfer that to your bank account. You can then use that money as you see fit. At the moment, again, I'm very, very, very new to this blockchain world. So at the moment, I'm not aware of any kind of solutions out there for, I don't know, having almost like the wallet always anchored to pound sterling. So when you go to the shop and spend pounds sterling. So let's say you go and buy, I don't know, £100 worth of groceries, it reduces it just kind of sells your crypto and gives you £100. I don't know if there's any solutions out there. I don't know whether it can be that instant to be able to do that. I don't know. Or maybe you could set an anchor in the sense that you've always got, I don't know, let's say £1,000 in sterling in your account, and then the rest of your account is held within the crypto world. And then there's an element of risk because that can be worth a different amount of money. So yeah, I mean, hopefully you liked it. If you do, please like, share, comment. If you think somebody will benefit from this, this is my take on it. I'm not saying it's 100% right, but I will be following this as a process for buying my coins. But just make sure you keep everything safe, and just be very, very vigilant as to what you're doing. Be careful what you're sharing. I will share this Trello board down below. So if you want to kind of get access to it, to kind of see it, that's fine. And yeah, hopefully you enjoyed. So take care. Bye.